Welcome to the TEK2day podcast powered by CEO Radio. It's your host, John Mayetta. We've got a note coming out tomorrow. Let me give you a little flavor for what we're going to be writing about here. Title of the article is Earnings Season Thus Far, Lack of Color and Backbone. So here's how earnings season has been going. You could say this started some weeks ago at pre-announcement season. CEO starts the call by giving thanks to employees and customers and first responders and things like this. It's a nice thing to say, but I'm telling you, with a number of these companies, it comes off as disingenuous. I don't like it. I don't like it. If it doesn't sound genuine, it does not work. So if I was writing the prepared remarks for these companies, I would say to the CEO, you better sound like you mean it, or just we're not going to say it, because it's off-putting. Then after that what seems like a throwaway comment about COVID and giving thanks, CEOs are moving into, we're grateful for the opportunity to delight our customers during this difficult time. We got off to a good start in the months of January and February as we experienced healthy year-over-year growth. Activity slowed during the month of March due to the coronavirus. Despite this period of uncertainty, we're confident business activity will pick up. Our long-term outlook remains intact, meaning kind of like the 3 to 5 year outlook. We have little near-term visibility and therefore will not be providing Q2 guidance nor full-year guidance on this call. We look forward to updating investors as we gain visibility. And then what's happening is the stock's going up the next day. And I think I said in an earlier podcast, hey, there's no upside in putting numbers out there if you really have limited visibility and you just can't take a guess. If you're manufacturing widgets and there's high volatility in your business anyway, okay, I get it. There's not a lot of upside to putting numbers out there. But for software companies, particularly for those companies that migrated to a recurring revenue model or that came out of the box as a recurring revenue business, you should be able to put a range of revenue and earnings out there. It's your bookings where you'll see variability. And you should be able to, if not provide bookings guidance, at least put some color around bookings. How much have they dropped off? What has the trajectory looked like in the month of April versus the month of March? How has it looked in the past 10 days versus the beginning of April? Any change? And then what we recommend in our note, just, draw a trend line off of April, haircut it, and put something out there. It's not supposed to be easy as a public company. It's not supposed to be easy as a CEO. You could say, well, by putting something out there, you're setting yourself up for failure. Why make it more difficult than it has to be? Well, because if you put nothing out there, you're bound to have more variability in consensus estimates for revenue and earnings. And when we hit the June quarter, which we all know is going to be a bad quarter, because we will have had essentially at least the first half of the quarter where most everything is in lockdown. And then given the Trump administration's staggered plan for reopening the country, it's safe to say the June quarter is going to be a throwaway quarter. So you're going to have wide variability in estimates as it is, and then who knows where the number comes in. So there's a lot of opportunity for dislocation when the June quarter print comes in versus estimates. And that's when you could see the market freak out. So if you have insight into the June quarter, put it out there. Haircut it. And if you're thinking to yourself, if your IR team, your outsourced IR team is telling you, if you put it out there and it's haircut and it looks conservative, you're going to spook people. People are already spooked, and just tell them, hey, we're putting a number out there because we feel like we have insight into a number. And we're baking an element of conservatism into that number because we don't want to put it out there and then miss it. But we feel like not putting a number out there is just taking our ball and going home, and that's not the right thing to do either. Because that's what it feels like. It feels like a lot of management teams right now don't have backbones, that they have insight and they're just holding back on it. And I'm telling you, if you're going to not put guidance out there and then after the earnings call, get on the phone with the sell side guys and give them a range, then you're a fucking pussy. Put a number out there if you have it. Show some backbone.